This is the Alabama Orthopedic Clinic D1 Training High School Football Preview Show.
And good evening. Week 4 of the high school. We're like a month in already. High school football season. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan, and you will not be going on the road with ZZ Top. Clean shaven for the first time this season. Good to see that, my friend. Okay, so last week, Davidson Baker, and we're going to that game and we're like, all right, Baker got shut out the first week. We're not really sure what we're going to see there. Davidson with an impressive win. They went on the road and got that win, and we're kind of like, all right, what are we going to see here? And could not be more impressed by Davidson, I think, for a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, for a bunch of reasons, and they had, a situation that ended the coaching career of a friend of ours for the time being, certainly. And it was a lot of tumultuous elements in the program that just were not good and had public opinion offer the wrong reasons. It was sad, but it was tough on those kids to see the way they were able to focus under Sean Smith and that staff. And again, those kids themselves, what a great job, and how resilient were they. And they looked absolutely great the other night, and I think they're going to give anybody some fits along the way.
You know, we talked about Colby Blount. We had him on the pregame show, and you were just like, I think they're going to get tired of tackling this guy at some point. And he had the big game again, another 200-yard night. Big smile. He was all over Twitter the next morning. He was excited about that. So it was, good to see that young man have the big game. This week, St. Paul's and Blount on the road, going back out to 8 Mile, also a place that always has a great atmosphere when we go on the.
Oh, it's got a great atmosphere, and they've got a lot of good players too. Both teams do. St. Paul's and Blount both with a couple of wins.
Yeah, they're young. Going to be interesting to see how Lev Howley's team kind of grows up as they have to each week. And Steve Mask will talk about him with the Saints. But we got Dr. Chris Patton here with us. Y'all are like workout buddies.
Well, a little bit,
He is he's a sweater, isn't he? It's tough to be on the treadmill next to Dan.
He's working hard.
Dr. Patton said he's the same way, so he switched right through that Ole Miss shirt.
Anyway, so as soon as you walked in, Dan's like, yeah, we work out at the same place. So each week we talk injuries here with our friends over at AOC, and we've talked shoulders, we've talked knees, but the ACL is the one you hear, and everybody, that's the big hold your breath when you see somebody go down. But you also do hear about the MCL a lot, and just as a guy who I always say a few hours short of my medical degree, doesn't seem like that's nearly as catastrophic sometimes as the ACL we hear of.
Right. Actually, the MCL, or the medial collateral ligament, is actually the most commonly torn or injured ligament in the knee, and it can cause some at least temporary disability to the athlete in itself. Now, when it's combined with other ligaments, that's a whole different animal. But it is the most commonly torn ligament in the knee, and it's something that we watch out, and we see a fair amount of them on the sidelines.
One of those that usually, I guess it depends on when it happens, but if it were to happen kind of early, like a month into the season we are now, is that always hey, they're going to be out the rest of the year when something like that happens?
No, it all depends on the grade. They grade them 1, 2, and 3, and obviously 3's the worst. And usually a grade 1, just a very mild injury, is 5 to 7 days it can be, and you don't have to wear a brace. And grade 2 injury is a more significant injury with a little bit of instability in the knee, and that is usually maybe 2 to 4 weeks. We put a little brace on it, and then the grade 3 are the worst. Now that can be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, and that's the concern about the higher grades of knee ligament, of the MCL injury, is that it's associated with other things in the knee that can be damaged, including the ACL.
Right.
So when you see one of the higher grade, the grade 3, we would say MCL injuries, then you have to start hoping and examining and that it's not an ACL tear.
And I assume a big part of that, like so many other things we've learned, it's just what the athletes are doing in training, getting ready for their event to try to minimize that risk.
Right, good from everything from good core stability to good quad and hamstring strengthening, and actually the hips, getting good hip stability is important too. So with sports performance, you know, you want to be prepared and help reduce the chances of the injuries.
Yeah, that's what we do all the time.
Yeah,
me and Dr. Patton.
You know, if you're
Pro Health, I mean, that's what we do.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, you know, most people out 5. Aaron Rodgers, you're out 8 minutes, and then come back and ruin my whole week with an AC.
Bears fan.
Hey, you know, and I know we have to wrap up. One thing I think is amazing, and I think his name's Dr. Chow. He's the sports medicine guy. He's on some of the TV shows now, talk shows, big Twitter guy. But he'll watch a football game, mostly NFL, and he'll see a player go down, and he's able to diagnose, you know, like what that looks like. He'll say, oh, that looks like that's an MCL sprain, or, ooh, I'm really worried, or it looks like that. It is, like, can you, like, I think it's amazing when you could just watch on TV and have a really good idea what it is.
Unfortunately, as a sports medicine physician, we have a tendency to watch things a little bit different. And when an athlete goes down, like an RG3 or whoever has a big injury, you go, uh-oh, I know what's going on there.
Wow. How about that?
And so you get a lot of questions from people about that in the next couple of days. It's, yeah, the way they landed, or the way their knee looked, or any other injuries too, like ankles, you know that, uh-oh, this is bad, and this is going to be a significant recuperation period for them.
When Dr. Patton's watching football with you and he gives it, you're like, uh-oh, you know that.
When we're at the gym, I just look, Brennan's down.
All right, so be strong core, strong hips, protect your MCL, right?
Right.
All right, good to see you. Great to meet you here.
Great to meet you.
And
good to see you.
Stay right here. We'll take a break, come back. We're going to talk more about our matchup tonight. Blount and St. Paul's here on UTV 44. And Steve Mast, the head coach of the St. Paul Saints. He's a little grumpy. We didn't have him on last year. He's coming up right after this. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, back here at D1. Just we always talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just such a great facility. Even when the air's not on, and it's a little steamy.
I don't know that they've got air. They just let you come in and work, and I mean, look at the.
It's a deal breaker for me.
Look at the roster of stars who come through here. So,
like you were saying, you know, turn on the game on Saturday, the big game that's on at 2:30, and both quarterbacks are
working for David Morris, who worked under him.
Yeah, speaks volumes. Steve Mast, head coach of the St. Paul Saints. AJ Finley, DB for the Saints, here with us as we get ready for the matchup with Blount here tonight. I said, you're a little grumpy that we didn't see you last year. The schedules didn't match up. You're a little grumpy that you didn't get on.
Last 2 years. I thought we'd broke up.
16? No, we did 16.
I think it was. I think we broke up. I asked for my ID, placed it back, my tie pack, and nobody would bring it back to me.
Do you want your old CDs too?
Well, now they get the letter sweater back. I got that part back, but now we're excited about being here. We always are. I always enjoy it.
So a bit of a new day for the St. Paul Saints this year with rulings that came down, and you going up into not just moving up a classification, but it was a bit of a double whammy, if you will, from a classification and then to step into, oh yeah, Region 1.
Well, you know, it is what it is, and we're excited about being in the region. You know, obviously, you know, like I said, we're not going to dwell on that fact a whole lot, but we're playing in arguably one of the best regions in the state in 6A, and as well as 5A was the same way. So we're excited about the opportunity that we're here, and we're going to make the best of it and do the best we can, and I believe we'll give a good account of ourselves.
Yeah, one thing that I took away from our conversation the other day, Coach, was that you like your team, and your team competes, and they play hard, and that's certainly a standard that you have always set. But in 6A, Region 1, you don't really have any choice, do you?
Well, Dan, you're right, and the thing I love about these kids is that there has been a standard set going forward. Well before I got there, and well after I leave, it'll still be the same way. But the thing about these kids, they don't really care. You know, they won't play football, and the A behind it is not important. I think the biggest difference is it's just going to be a tremendous grind with 8 region games in a row. We do have an open date built in a couple of weeks that we'll desperately need, but our kids hadn't backed down from the challenge at all, and even during the summer, I think AJ will attest to it. We haven't even talked about it. And we just looked to see who's on the schedule, and that's who we're going to play, and that's what we're going to do the best we can.
Is the and we'll get past it, but just the big, from a physical standpoint, it just seems like you're going up maybe bigger rosters, which inherently, you know, sometimes you have more.
Well, the pool is the biggest thing. You know, I believe that we can put 11 or 22 guys out there that can compete with everybody. But, you know, people lose sight of the fact that the classification is based on the top 3 grades, 10, 11, and 12. And our enrollment is 305 kids. And then when you go against people, Blount, for example, that's got over 1,100, and other brethren in our region have got the same numbers, the pool is shrunk a little bit where depth is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
If we get a couple of kids hurt, we got to reach down and maybe grab a kid that's not quite developed enough to play at this level, but he has no choice and he has to go play. And they buy into that theory. But you know, it is what it is, and we're going to compete. We competed already, and we'll continue to compete, and we'll make it work.
Probably not a lot of sympathy cards from you know, coming to the St. Paul Saints with the hardware that we have on here. And so, AJ, I'm just guessing, just like the coach said, like it doesn't matter. Friday night, just tell us what time to be there. You'll be out there ready to play football, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Talk about Blount and maybe some of the players you know over there, and some of the kids that you've competed against in your lifetime as a great athlete in the Mobile area.
Yes, sir. I've competed against a lot of the Blount players for a long time, park ball. They got a lot of good players this year. But we're looking forward to a good game, physical battle. We're looking forward to winning. You
know, we had Dr. Patton here, Ole Miss grad. Right now, that looks like the way you're going, isn't that right? Sir. Congratulations on that. What went into that decision?
Coach Summerall, Coach Luke, there's a pretty nice coaching staff up there, too. They got me on board really fast.
Excellent.
So you look at, you see Blount, a young team this year. We'll talk about that with Lev, but obviously there's some challenges you'll see in matchups up there. But we could have this conversation each and every week, whoever you're going against, and he's going to say the same thing about your team.
Right. Well, I think obviously when you talk about this region, the thing that jumps out at you that we've seen in the past somewhat, but we don't see it as much as we do now, the sheer size of some of the people that we're playing against is the biggest thing. You know, we played Viger, you know, and we played Jackson. They've all had good sized kids and that kind of thing. And we've got good size. I'm not saying cry so we don't have any good players. We've got some good players. But just the sheer size of the people that we're playing, and then the volume of them, and it's I mean, I'm being redundant here, but just the grind. And so we're taking it one at a time. We're having to coach a little different. We've always tried to take care of our kids and get them to the games on Friday nights. We're not one of these guys to beat them up during the week. We're not going to sit on the practice field 2.5 hours. We're going to get our work in 95 minutes, and it's going to be concise. It's going to be controlled. And then when we get there on Friday nights, we'll hopefully have fresh legs, fresh minds, and fresh bodies and go play.
Yeah.
So I love it. And I think that's certainly, you see it when I get around to practices, you see it more and more where teams are, it's hut two. I mean, it's get to it. Keep people moving. Don't necessarily just wear them out, but make sure they are efficiently ready, I guess.
But you got to have kids that can do it too, right?
Well, you got to have kids that can do it. And the thing that you got to keep in mind also is, and we're proud of the fact of where we are, we also have a very strong academic load that you have to consider. They're taking, you know, 7 courses and five or six of them are core courses. So it's not like we've got time to keep them 5 or 6 hours. They've got to go home and do what's important with the academic load. And, you know, we've been doing this a while. You know, this blonde hair is slowly turning to gray. But we've sort of figured out a method to get them there on Friday nights healthy and with a plan. I think AJ would attest to that. We don't drag our feet at practice. If the clock says move, and that's what we do.
All right, well, AJ, great to meet you. Be safe out there, and Coach, we'll see you in the last segment. We back together now? We're not broken?
It's great to see you. I love this show. I always have.
All right, we'll take a time out.
Funniest show on TV.
Lev Holly will come. You haven't even played the new game we play at the end yet. Lev Holly will join us from Blount coming up after this. Blount and St. Paul's our game this week here on UTV 44. Week 4 of the high school football season. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, going to talk some Blount Leopard football. Going to see the Leopards for the first time this year. Lev Holly, head coach of the Leopards, and Colby McCovery here. Now, I mean, we just said, you know, Coach, it's like I know you're a very structured guy, very disciplined. This is what we do, but it's, you know, you got to be a special kid to come up here and outdress your coach on TV,
and
right?
it ain't close.
No, my goodness. I said it all the years we've done this.
He's outdressed everybody in the history of the show.
That's it.
Colby McCovery.
Homecoming showcase, right?
Yes.
That's what it's. Or just a Wednesday night tuxedo as we tape this. How you doing, Coach?
Going well. Going well. Excited.
Good to see you. So I think kind of the word on the street and coaches and you is as well. Blount Leopards young team and going to kind of be forced to get better. 2-1, no issues so far, but get better and grow up quickly each and every week.
Yeah, we're very excited. You know, I think, you know, anytime you lose 33 seniors, you know, I think it'll be some question marks in places. But, you know, the one thing I can say is that, you know, those guys have came in and since January and bust their tail. You know, and they've got better, you know, so I think the future looks bright. You know, and like I tell them every day, you know, it's a process, but, you know, want to be the best people that you could be. You know, and putting that aspect into becoming a better team, you know, and I think it's a brotherhood and, you know, that old saying we have about the family aspect, forget about me, I love you, is truly in play, you know, and those guys are dependent on each other, you know, to do the right thing and to get better, but also, you know, stay within the culture, you know, focus on the academics, focus on the athletics, focus on the social aspect, and then the spiritual aspect and whatever that may be. So we're excited about where we are.
You've been very consistent with that since we first met 2 years ago. And
we've seen a huge difference,
Oh, yeah, and when you have that consistency in the message that these kids are getting, and by the way, for the record, I texted Lev earlier this year and I said, how are the Leopards doing? And the text back, I could show it to you, they're busting their tail. So what he says is what you guys are doing, Colby. So if nothing else, you guys are responding by working hard. Talk about that and how much hard work you guys got to put into it.
Well, to be a young group, these guys are really intelligent. They're a really intelligent group, and they come in every day as if it's a game day. You know, they bust their tails at everything they do, whether it's film, whether it's weight room, whether it's, you know, practice on the field, walk through. These guys are very aggressive, and I was very shocked at that, you know, but I'm also pleased with my team. You know, I'm satisfied with what my team is because we're progressing.
Do you think part of that is, I mean, I remember when Coach was first year at Blount, came in and we met him, and Dan and I were like, whoa, we like this guy. But now it's like, it really is a structure, it's a program, it's a process that's in place, and now the kids that are coming up that are sophomores, juniors, even yourself, there's only been one way to do it at Blount, right?
Yes, sir. Me and Coach Holly came in at the same time. Yeah. So it's been a great road, and I wouldn't want to, you know, go along a journey with another coach.
That's awesome. It looks like you've already got an assistant coach down the line after he gets done playing in college, and he's got a great future, huh?
He does, and I think Kobe is a guy that, you know, he gets it. You know what I mean? As far as that, you know, he puts self out of the way so many times, you know, and that brotherhood. Because I remember, you know, he's seen those guys come in my first year, how they done things, and he kind of gravitated to it and couldn't wait to get in those shoes. So you know, he's done a great job at doing that, man. And he's one of the best kids I've ever coached as far as being a total student athlete, the total person. And I think a lot has to do with that, with his upbringing and his family.
Yeah, no doubt.
Talking about with Coach Maskin about the classifications getting moved around, St. Paul's being bumped up to 6A this year, and then coming into your region. What do you? I mean, we've seen St. Paul's obviously for a lot of years. I know you see him as well, but maybe when you weren't preparing to play him. But I mean, what do you see when you look at the Saints getting ready for this one?
Well, I don't think you can deny their success. I mean, anytime you win 3 state championships, you know, the last 4 years. I mean, luckily I was in Jackson. We had to play them twice.
Yeah. So no strangers there.
Got a chance to see him with my son, and you know, but at the end of the day, they're a program, and I don't think, you know, they've had the success they've had, you know, for nothing. I think a lot, that's a testament to Coach Mass and the guys at St. Paul's for getting those kids ready, getting them ready to play. So, I mean, they are a championship caliber team. They're a championship caliber program. So, you know, the preparation has to be on point. They're not going to make mistakes. So we got to be ready to come out and play and be disciplined in the aspect. So that's been the message this week is, you know, discipline in all phases. You know what I mean? We're not going to go out and do nothing hectic. You know, just go out and play Blount football, and hopefully it's enough to win, you know. But I know it's going to be a 4-quarter game. Look very impressive on film. You know, the Ingram kid, the Finley kid, the quarterback is real sound, not going to make mistakes. Defense play really fast. So, you know, I think it's a good football. I think it'll be a good football game, a good matchup for us, good test early. You know, and I think we can go in after this and really evaluate where we are.
I think that's why we're taking all these expensive cameras there to do the game on Friday night, because we can't wait to see it either.
Yeah,
you know, it's going to be a blast.
We expect it to be.
And going to Blount is always fun.
Oh, we love the atmosphere. Yeah. Go there. The PA, you know, Santee on the PA. You know, just it's a great atmosphere. Like it's got to be those those home games really are special for kids, and Blount's just one of those special places to play a home game, isn't it?
Yes, sir. This is the culture side of it. And, you know, culture is everything at Blount. So you get real love as a Blount football player.
We get love, and we're just announcers.
I had to go Facebook Live last year. Blount Biger, we were doing the game. You know, before the game, it was such a great atmosphere. We love it. All right, Kobe, good to see you, and it's so good. Coach, stay here. We got the last segment coming up as we get ready for our kickoff. About 10 minutes away, St. Paul's and Blount tonight here on UTV 44 6A matchup. We can't wait for this one to get started. Here, D1 Training Center, as we get ready for our big matchup tonight. St. Paul's going up against Blount here on UTV 44. Can't wait. Going to be a great atmosphere, and two coaches who just are always great at our last segment here. So it's Brent in, Brent out. We asked Dan Brennan a topic, and then Coach Holly and then Coach Maskley to say they're in or out as well. So
okay.
And I already know that this one where you go, because you're not like me. But so the big news this week: Apple, the new iPhone coming out. You could pre-order, get it by the end of the month. You'll have one by the end of the month. Dan, Brent in, Brent out.
Look at Vania on camera knowing that.
Not an Apple guy.
I'm Brent out.
Out.
Android guy.
I didn't know there was one coming out.
But you're an Apple guy, at least with me. All right, well, that's good. That's two.
So
Ed, are you an Apple guy? All right, so we had to ask someone last week, and our thoughts with the big storm going up there. If we knew someone named Gordon, do you know someone named Florence? Dan Brennan.
I'd have to say Brent out.
Know someone named Florence?
Brent in, that's Ken Darian's mother.
Oh,
no kidding.
There we go. You know Florence.
I know Florence, Alabama.
Well, okay, I guess that.
Florence Henderson.
I don't know. Do you know her personally? Well, I mean,
well, not really.
Okay. Let's see. Dan Brennan, you have the Uber app on your phone.
I do. Brent in.
Uber app?
Brent out.
I do.
Yeah, you got to have the. We'll help you, Coach. We'll help you there. Fantasy football team?
Brent out.
Brent out. Trying to get prepared for St. Paul's.
Somebody asked me to get one, and I said, I don't need another thing to discuss.
Let's say, like, I got real games on my schedule.
Let's see. According to a published report, the top slang word in Alabama is hot minute. Dan Brennan, you've used the term hot minute.
Brent out.
Brent out.
Brent out.
I've never said it as well.
Yeah, it's a younger thing.
Nobody liked avocados last week except me. Cheese boards. You know, you go out with the wife, you get a nice little thing, cheese board cracker.
Yeah.
Cheese
Brent
board.
out.
Brent out, a cheese board.
Brent in, especially going to Minnesota.
There you go.
Out.
They're going to eat some cheese up there.
I could help you with one of those that you'd like. All right, quickly. Comfortable operating a chainsaw.
No.
Brent in.
In.
Chainsaw?
Yeah.
I'll hire that dog.
I'm out as well. Kickoff in comes up next. St. Paul and Blount here on UTV 44.